VZoom has three options for editing. Each was introduced in previous lessons. First, the Insert mode, which is toggled on by clicking the addition sign above the network object listing on the left of the user interface, allows us to create network objects. To its right, the pointer represents the Edit mode. When the Edit mode is active, we may select, open, and modify single or multiple network objects of a specific type. Just right of the Edit mode is the Spatial Selection mode, which has an icon with a dashed rectangle. The Spatial Selection mode allows us to define a geography and modify objects within an area. Click on the Insert mode and select the Link Network object. We are now ready to add a network object, and in this case we will add a link to the network. To do this, we simply click on a node and then click on the node we wish to connect with the link. We then need to establish some fundamental attributes such as the link type, speed, number of lanes, and capacity. We may also want to give the link a shape if there is curvature. In the same way, we may add other network objects in the Insert mode. Next, switch to Edit mode. Here we may modify the attributes and other parameters of network objects. Switch to the Zone network object, double-click a zone, and modify a user-defined attribute to add 500 single-family dwelling units. In scenario analysis, we often adjust the definition of the supply and demand elements in a model and execute model procedures to see the outcome of the change. Last, switch to the Spatial Selection mode. Notice a template of spatial selection functions appears. Click on the blue shape on the left. Here we can simply drag a rectangle from upper left to lower right to define an area. We can reset an area by clicking on the Toggle All Active button. We define an area polygon by holding the Control key down and left-clicking a polygon. We can toggle the object state between active and inactive. We may also define an area by establishing objects within a territory as part of the spatial selection. Once a spatial selection is established, you may take objects away or add to them. You may change the objects selected in a spatial selection by checking and unchecking the object. When you are satisfied with the spatial selection, you may save it in case you would like to use it again later or in another scenario. Click on the disk icon to save the spatial selection as an Active Network Objects file. You click on the file to open the Active Network file. Up until now, we have been using the Types tab of the Network Objects menu to navigate through the network. In VZoom, we also have the option of context-sensitive navigation using the Network Browser. Left-click on the browser and select a node. You will see that all the network objects related to that node are listed. We can expand and collapse the view. We may also restrict the items listed to only active objects. To move to one of the links related to this mode, simply double-click and the view moves to the link view within the browser. Notice that if we switch to the Types tab, that the links are now selected. We may go backward and forward in our browser view by using the blue arrows. We can view other objects by clicking on them in the browser view. Also, we may select multiple objects by holding the Control key down, and all of the related objects for every selected object is displayed. Below the Network Objects interface is the Quick View listing. We have the ability to make fast edits for single and multiple objects. For instance, if we select all the links in a corridor, we can quickly add a lane and modify the speed and capacity for every object all at once. First, we choose the attribute selector and add the number of lanes to our Quick View listing. Then we select all the links in the corridor. Last, we modify the attributes according to our scenario needs. In this case, we add a lane and change the speed to 40 miles per hour. When all objects selected have the same value in the Quick View window, the value is displayed. When at least one object has a different value, the Quick View displays an asterisk. This is a useful tool in network checking and quality assurance. You may also copy and paste attributes between network objects of a specific type using the Quick View editor. We simply use the copy and paste icons with our original and target objects to migrate the attribute information. vZoom has an undo and redo function for network editing. First, we'll modify a link speed, then a zone user-defined attribute, and last, we'll change a node type. Click on the undo to undo the last item modified. You may also left-click on the drop-down arrow next to the undo to selectively undo multiple edits made to the network. Redo is the same process, just in reverse. Here, you may redo item-by-item edits, or selectively choose the edits you wish to redo. Some operations may not be undone. These are certain procedures, such as an assignment, or if you import a network file and clear the undo stack to save random access memory.